Hey, welcome to BitcoinHeadlines.tv. I'm Steve Moran with my good friend here, Doug, the BTC Guru Yates.
Hello, Steve. Good to see you
What,
again.
what's happening, bud? What's good in the world of Bitcoin today?
You know what? It's interesting. This is an interesting time because you can't keep up with all the news. It's so massive. This new paradigm shift in the world, in both financial world and e-commerce world and business world. There's something happening every minute of the day, and there's so many articles out there. It's just something I noticed today. It's kind of overwhelming, which on a good in a good way. There's
Yeah,
just so much adoption that's happening so fast, and there's so much new technology coming out of this blockchain industry that's just amazing. I mean, our these next 2 to 3 years, and it's not like 5 and 10 years like in the past.
no,
You
and
know,
things are happening fast. They're happening new. I was just right before we got on, I was listening to Mark Cuban, and he was talking about he really just started getting heavily excited about like Ethereum and stuff like in January. Okay.
yeah,
And it was because he went, I forget where he said he went through this thing and learned about, he really learned about smart contracts.
yeah,
And he said the thing that stuck out to him was, he says, you mean I can go ahead and program this contract to do the entire transaction, everything else. And he saw a field in there where he could put royalties in.
right,
And that's kind of, as the Shark Tank guy, that's kind of really lit him up. And he was like, oh my God, you mean I can put this in here and I can create this, digitize this whole thing, including the transaction, and I can still get paid. And that's kind of when he really decided that, wow, now he really kind of sees the whole next level of this, so using his, Shark Tank mind to dive in there. That's kind of why I was watching. It's like, okay, what made you start getting so excited like real recently? What? Yeah, because it couldn't have been really just so much the market. It had to be something else that he learned. And that's a pretty interesting thing. Coming from the internet marketing space, you can come out, you put out products, and people just knock off something, and they can knock it off in an hour, and next thing you
yeah.
know, they got your stuff, and they're kind of stealing what you're doing, and they're taking away your stuff. But if you build stuff and you do it the right way on the blockchain, I mean, you can literally prevent that kind of stuff from ever happening to you again.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And that's a very interesting point. Whatever deal you like when two companies come together with an agreement, signing the agreement is the easy part. Keeping the agreement is the hard part.
That
Keeping both
is.
parties honest, and then blockchain does that with the smart contracts.
Right. And so, I mean, that's something that's just, so it's interesting seeing what, when we got billionaires, guys out there that are a lot smarter than we are, right? That have already done all this stuff. I mean, and been successful over time. And, it's good to watch what these guys, what's making these guys move,
Yeah.
what is it that's making them move? And, because it helps us understand it a little bit more too. And now it's like, okay, now, God, you go watch a 30-minute interview with him about it. And it's like, it just makes you start thinking about your own business. And,
Yeah. Absolutely.
all the different sales funnels that I've had and built and things like that, you go out and you find stuff, you build something successful, then somebody's going to knock it off. And with technology today, they can literally, you can find out where their traffic's coming from, and you can go, run ads, and you can like siphon off traffic. And, it's just so easy to go out and replicate what somebody else's success has been in the internet space. But when you move it to the blockchain, it's like, if you want to get rid of that happening and that type of a thing, since you can do it now.
Yeah.
That's
True.
amazing.
And plus, you can carve out your slice of pie and know that it's as protected as it can be, way more than before.
Way
And then
more.
other people who are in the same industry can carve out their slice of that same pie. There's multiple slices, so it keeps everybody in their playing field, keeps everybody honest. There's one of the largest toy companies in Asia announced that they put about 1.5% of their excess cash, which was $100+ billion, into Bitcoin as a reserve. And it's happening. These corporations are happening over and over again. In fact, there's a hedge fund that basically announced, we're sorry we didn't last quarter put any of our excess funds into Bitcoin. They apologized to their fund holders.
Right.
And so, we talked about the EFTs up in Canada, right?
Right.
They hit since February. They've hit almost $1.5 billion in money in assets under management. They call it AUM. Sorry, assets under management. And so that's growing. United States hasn't even started yet. They're not even approved yet. As soon as they get approved, imagine how much money is going to move into Bitcoin. And if you just look at the top 10 coins, throw out Dogecoin because it's an oxymoron. But the rest of them are good, solid coins, with Bitcoin being the number one. That's the base for all this. And as Bitcoin grows, others grow. And the good thing is, it's really easy to get into Bitcoin, really smart to get into Bitcoin. If you hold any part of a Bitcoin over these next 2 to 4 years, you're going to be extremely happy, based on my opinion, what I believe the market's going to do. Yeah. Because like we talked about, supply is not getting bigger; it's getting smaller. The demand and the adoption, just go type in Bitcoin in don't use Google, use DuckDuckGo or DuckDuckGo or something. I'm really opposed to Google search engine, but I won't go down that trail yet. But just go type it in and look at the news. It's thousands of pages of news on Bitcoin. Yeah. And we're at the early adoption phase. We haven't had the mass adoption yet.
No, you start talking and thinking about these different possibilities. It made me start thinking, for the last, 10 years or so, I've been, deep in the, last 20 years, really, the internet marketing space, right?
Right.
And there's, a lot of the guys that I know out there, that are in this space that, they create projects, they create digital products, and they go out and they sell the digital product. But one of the biggest problems that you have with that is chargebacks. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Because, you get people that buy things, and as soon as they buy it, they think they already solved the problem. So then they don't use it. And then they go, maybe I'll get my money back. Right. And a lot of these, chargebacks can be as, high as maybe 30%. Okay. And then you've also got the high credit card fees. So, you're going to start to see adoption of, like that kind of space is going to be starting to move into creating creating all your stuff in the blockchain if you can, right? Because now you've got it out there. It's going to be there forever. And you can just, it's like, it's a perfect world. It's like, you don't have to worry about where your website's hosted and all this other kind of stuff. It's like,
I got a great example of that. I have a buddy his name's Roland Fraser. He partners with Ryan Dice over at Digital Marketing.
Yeah, Roland's down in San Diego area, isn't he?
Yeah, he's down by your area. Exactly. Yeah. Great guy, smarter than any person I've ever met. The guy's a genius. And he did his first launch by himself. Okay, and he did 7 figures. He had the he modeled Frank Kern, I think, one of his launches. He had the fastest to 500,000 internet, marketing launch than any other person ever, and then made 7 figures. And everybody's like, "Whoa!" And then so I'm talking to him. I'm like, "That's pretty good." He's like, "Yeah, but I didn't get all that money." For the exact reason what you just said. He's all there. Because of, in these instances, a lot of people buy it and then will charge it back and keep it, kind of thing, which means stealing it. The credit card companies will hold a huge reserve, like 50%. So, if he made $1 million, the credit card company is holding $500K for 6 months.
Yeah, for 6 months.
That's
there won't be a lot of that money left.
Right.
There won't be a lot of that money left. There'll be at least 30%.
Then there's chargebacks that are eat down at that. He's all, I'm probably going to net 300 after everything's said and done. I go, out of $1 million.
Right.
Yeah, it's still pretty good, but wow, it's a little frustrating. And he goes, yeah, it is. It's this world. So with blockchain, with Bitcoin, that doesn't exist.
Right. But that's why there's so many opportunities for entrepreneurs also, right? That, when you come in and you understand and you learn this game, there's going to be so many opportunities to go out and consult and show other people how to do this and how to take their business and put it on the blockchain, take what they have and get it onto the blockchain, because look at the kind of money that they'll be saving. I mean, it's unbelievable.
There's headlines with treasuries are holding Bitcoin now. Governments are taking the government money and storing it in Bitcoin. Turkey, who basically is saying they're going to outlaw it, said, well, you can still use it for certain things. We're going to hold some in our treasury. In India, who's trying to do it, says, in India, says if you mine it, you could use it to pay for things. So, and I got one really personal example. I read a headline today that just blew my mind. I had a corporation that had a bank account for many, many years, I'm talking 6, 7, 8, maybe 9 years with a bank I won't name, but their initials are U.S. Bank, and they closed the account because they didn't like me wiring money to a cryptocurrency exchange. They just closed it, wrote me a check for the thing, and said, "We don't want your business."
Yeah.
And then they announced that they're going to become a custodian for Bitcoin. They're going to hold your Bitcoin for you. I go, what a 180. I mean, this was not too long ago. This was probably
Right.
8 months ago that they basically says, we will not deal with you because you're in the cryptocurrency world. And now they're becoming custodians and hold, which is like, that's not only jumping in with both feet, you're jumping in, a whole body.
Yeah, no, they're talking out of both sides of their mouth, right?
Yeah.
I mean, definitely. And that's what everybody's doing, because there's no denying it. You can do, you can say whatever you want to say. Okay. And there, I mean, what was it? P.T. Barnum was it? There's one born every minute, right? There's people out there with voices, and they're just going to say stupid shit. Okay. Just because that's what they'll do.
Yeah.
Okay. But you got 21 million Bitcoin. I mean, if you had 21 million, I mean, if you had 21 million iPhones, okay, in the whole world, that was all there was. Okay. What do you think an iPhone would cost if there's only 21 million? And there was never going to be any more, ever. You'd get all the updates later. You'd get everything else going. How much would one iPhone cost? Huh? Dude, it's crazy, right? It's like, you've always got that, so you've got that store of value, but you also have value that's, definitely appreciating. So you've got an appreciating asset that's super liquid. It's like, what else like this? What else has ever been that's really has this much store of value, has the ability to keep going up like this, and is just literally that liquid? You don't really have to do anything.
Yeah. And one question I get a lot when I talk to people, I talk to everybody about Bitcoin. And one of the questions I get a lot is it too late? And it's really expensive. And I'm like, it's not too late. We're talking let 1% of people who know about Bitcoin actually have Bitcoin.
Yeah, less than like 2% of the people in the world have owning Bitcoin.
So we got a long ways to go before and the adoption level is growing quickly, but we're not even there yet. And you don't have to buy a full Bitcoin. You could buy one millionth of a Bitcoin, which is less than a few pennies.
And see the global adoption too. That's the thing, is because everybody in the globe has got smartphones. Okay. It's like if you ever travel around through Asia and stuff, it's like everybody's got phones. They've all got smartphones, right? Yeah. But there's so many countries out there, like people like in the Philippines, India, all these different countries that they can't even get a bank account. Okay. So moving money, just little bits of money, just sending it around to everybody. Now everybody, it's not like we're talking about, all the people that have a bank account in the world. We're literally talking about everybody in the world that, because, we have to have the ability to just transfer funds. We have to have the ability to have money and be able to pay for things. Okay?
Yeah. And there's
everybody, not everybody has that, but now everybody has the technology. Okay. But you know what they don't have?
Wallet, go to
the only thing they don't have is they don't have the knowledge.
Right.
And that's what we've got to all go out and we've got to empower people with the knowledge about this. Okay. So they understand this, I mean, we can help so many people out there, figure this stuff out. It's so easy for them to do,
Yep. Like you said, download the Cash App, download the Jack's Wallet or Bread Wallet. These are all mobile apps that you can put down. There's actual ATM machines that you can go buy Bitcoin from. They're popping up all over. You just type in, Bitcoin ATM, and there's, I know in the United States, there's a lot of them, and usually in most metal, congested areas, there's one within at least 10, 20 miles of where you're at. In fact, my second transaction for Bitcoin way back when was through a teller machine, and I paid. They had back then the premium was high. I think for a $1,500 Bitcoin, I was paying $1,900 on it, but I didn't care. I needed to get some Bitcoin, and now $1,900 for a Bitcoin, people would do anything to get that.
That's it. Another note, and it's funny because this is from I spoke to a mutual acquaintance of ours before we got on the show this morning. And let's talk about the importance of making sure that you understand what your wallet is capable of doing.
Right.
the Cash App that we talk about is a great starter program. That's a great place to go ahead and get things going, but that's not a place to be transferring large amounts of Bitcoin to. One of our friends has sent $10,000 over from like Coinbase to his Cash App, and then Cash App rejected it because you can do like 5,000 a day,
right?
In Cash App or something. It's got some weird different deal. That's why it's really important to have like a Jax Liberty or Gemini or just one of these other kind of blockchain.com, any other kind of wallet that is really your wallet. Okay,
yeah.
Because if you have your wallet, there's no transaction limits again. And now, again, you also have control of it too, because
absolutely. And another thing you have to do, there's different cryptocurrencies out there. We talk about Bitcoin all the time, which is the big daddy. And then there's Ethereum and there's a bunch of them. And you have to have a different wallet for the different cryptos. You can't put everything in the same wallet right now. They call those multi-chain wallets, and they're not really general adoption yet. They're just starting to be developed. So when you want to hold Bitcoin, you got to get a Bitcoin wallet. When you want to hold Ethereum, even you can do it inside an app. Like you can set up multiple
wallets in the same place. So
but you can't use the exact same wallet for different types of currency.
Right.
Just for if you wanted to eat an orange, you don't eat an apple type of thing.
Right.
They're different things. So that's something to remember. And then even with Bitcoin, Bitcoin changed their addresses to a longer one about, 5-8 years ago. So some of the older addresses, the new wallets won't accept. So you have to use the new version of it. And that's very rare. But if you ever run into the thing where you keep trying to send, it says, address unknown, that's the reason. You're using an old version and you got to use a new version. And most wallets handle that for you. You just got to know to do it. So these are the tips and stuff that, we're here to help with and help you get started in Bitcoin and help you get started in changing your life, because it will change your life.
Absolutely.
Change mine.
That's it. And we're going to have some really cool stuff for you guys here Monday. We're going to show you, be announcing our Earn While You Learn program. It's going to be a lot of fun. Really going to be fun. So we're excited about that. Real excited about that. It's going to be a lot of fun. We can start moving in that direction with everybody and helping, let's go out and empower 1 billion people out there and help a bunch of people understand what's going on out there so they can participate in it. It's kind of like there's a game being played. There's a really big, it's like the lottery, literally. It's like the lottery, right? I mean, if you got the lotteries out there and you can play it, if you don't play it, you can't win.
Right.
This is kind of like the game of life, okay, really. And you're already in the game of life. And I believe that if you're not moving forward, you're if you're not growing, you're dying. If you're not moving forward, you're moving backwards because people are passing you up. And when we get out of school and stop going to school and stuff, what do we do to keep growing and keep learning?
Yep. And trust us, it's super simple to do this stuff. You just if you're on your own, it could get a little bumpy, but with somebody like us or somebody that that knows Bitcoin, it's very simple. It's very simple to buy Bitcoin, and if you need to sell some of it to pay something because they take fiat, US dollars or whatever your currency is, it's real simple to do that. It's an easy lifestyle to live once you understand the tools that are out there, and the tools are getting better by the minute. That's what I thought. That's kind of, we opened the show, that there's so much happening. When I go to bed and I wake up in the morning, somebody has thought of something new and really cool in this blockchain Bitcoin world, the smart contract world. It blows our mind. And there's going to be so much. Trust me, in the future, you're going to be able to know anything that you buy. You're going to be able to know exactly where it came from, especially if it's in the farming. You're going to be able to know where the land was, what part of that land. You're going to be able to go to Google Earth and look at the piece of land that your orange grew on. You'll be able to scan a code on the orange, and it's going to look at the blockchain and go all the way back that it started there. It went on a truck. It went to here. It went to here. Boom. You're going to be able to do that for all your food, for anything that you want to source. It's all going to be in the blockchain. You're going to know exactly what's going on. The cannabis world's been doing this, forever because they have to. And they're actually the best at this. You can scan codes on their stuff and know exactly where the seed came from.
Right.
And so that's all going to be in the blockchain forever. And so the tools that we have are going to, that for us to use as citizens of the world, are going to be amazing.
Yeah, you need to learn this for multiple reasons. First of all, the world's changing, and we need to evolve with it so we don't devolve, right? And but if you've got a business, if you might want to think about how this could all impact your business and how you could use this to your advantage in your business, because there's probably many ways that can be done. If you've got kids, that you need to teach them about what this is all about. You need to kind of help educate them. That's the thing about this is that we're sitting on something that's so exciting and so like groundbreaking, revolutionary out there that is so exciting for people. There's so many people that have made millions and millions and millions of dollars in this thing that were nobody's about anything before, that didn't know anything. And I think one of the good things is, like, think about this. Mark Cuban has been a billionaire for a long, long time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
He stayed a billionaire, which is hard to do.
Which is really hard to do. Okay. But then he also started looking at Bitcoin in 2012. Okay. He bought in 2017 is when he finally bought. But it wasn't until January, okay, that the lights clicked on about what smart contracts meant. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this guy's way smarter than us. He's way smarter than the average bear. Okay. I mean, if he's just figuring this out, like, what, 4 months ago? Okay. It's like, are we too late? I don't think so.
Right.
I mean, the party's just getting started, guys. It's just getting started.
Yeah. Michael Saylor, who is the CEO of Market Strategies, he just started. He didn't know nothing last March of last year.
Right.
He put his nose to the grindstone for 30 days, studied it. In April, he went to his board and said, we got to start buying Bitcoin and putting our corporate cash reserves in Bitcoin. And he started a trend in the corporate world and in the hedge fund world. He started that whole trend. He brought legitimacy to that whole marketplace. And now, people are clamoring, like we said, that the fund up in Canada is at 1.5 billion. The guy that he interviewed, who is one of the smartest, he manages funds for big insurance companies and private retirements and labor and all that kind of stuff. And, to get his first billion in his crypto fund, his first billion took him 3 months. His second billion took him 6 days. And then now he's got a pipeline of $3-something billion coming in. It's all because of these examples of these guys. Hey, so Steve, I know we didn't talk about this, but can we give a sneak preview of what we're going to show on next Monday or Tuesday of what's going to be available with the Earn While You Learn?
Yeah, we got a couple of different versions we're going to be talking about.
It's basically a learning package that you can purchase, right?
Right. Yeah, we're going to basically take you and walk you hand by hand and show you, take you by the hand and show you we're going to teach you this business, show you how this business works, and show you at the same time we're doing that how to earn some Bitcoin while you're doing it.
Excellent.
I can tell you,
they can get like an educational package.
Right.
Is the price going to be off the charts, or it's going to be?
No. This is going to be so reasonable. It's going to be unbelievable.
Great, awesome. And then they could refer others or tell their friends about it and get referral commissions off of them. Is that kind of how it works?
Absolutely. That's the thing is that everybody out there, needs two things. Okay, everybody needs to learn about this, right? And so if we can have a package where we can go out and we can show people how they can make some money while they learn about this business, okay, that really empowers people. I mean, you go to college, all you keep doing is getting bills, right? You keep getting bills and bills and bills and bills, okay? The goal with this is to get you ahead of the game as fast as humanly possible, okay? Because once we've done that, we've got your attention, okay? And you're going to keep wanting to I would imagine you'd want to keep learning and keep earning more. And the cool thing about that is that, when you go out and do something like that and you get excited about it, guess what? It's not, you're going to want to go tell your friends about it.
And then, like, can you give an example of a referral commission that somebody could earn? Like what percentage?
Yeah, like
I know, I'm
90%
pulling the
plus,
covers off a little bit.
90% plus. How's that?
90%. Wow.
90% plus. Okay. Paid instantly in Bitcoin.
Oh, that's even better.
Paid instantly. I mean, have you ever been? I mean, I've built a lot of sales organizations. Okay. And, typically money comes in and, you guys get paid, the 1st and the 15th, or maybe you get paid every Friday, or something like that. Okay. This is a peer-to-peer system that, has the educational component that as soon as the money comes in, boom, you're paid what you're owed immediately. As soon as it settles on the blockchain, it's your money. And
that's great.
It's your Bitcoin and it's sitting right there. And, you have access to it. And you get to do whatever it is you want to do with it.
Wow. That's amazing. I can't wait. I'm excited.
It's going to be a lot of fun. So that's probably it for today, guys. It's Friday. Everybody have a great weekend. And we will be back here bright and early on Monday with a lot of fun stuff to do.
Absolutely. Talk to you guys again.
All right.